Hey there, Jules and Josh here, back again for our final installment of Cultivating Peace in Stressful Moments. So, this is part 5, alignment. And we have been working out of the Paprika Southern magazine winter issue. And the article that I wrote it was so special to be able to have the opportunity and honor to write something that gave me the chance to sit in as a witness to the really hard moments, the stressful moments, and figure out, what the hell do you do, girl? What do you do to get some peace going in your life? What are you doing? And so I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity. So thank you to Bevan and Shaban for giving me the platform. And thank you, Josh, for being my partner in these videos and helping to share your light and your feedback and input on how all of this works. Because it's one thing for me to talk about it, but it's a whole nother thing for you as my husband, as my partner, to be here doing this. So thank you.
It was so beautiful to see how this whole thing came together, because I mean the story she told in the beginning of this article was still something. It was something that we were going through at the time when she basically wrote this article. So it was very much a self-healing, like you're speaking to yourself in this article.
As always, that's one thing I definitely know that, and I have taken ownership over, is that I used to think I was talking to you, but I'm really, you meaning you listening, but really it was always me that I was speaking to, giving the expert advice that I needed.
So see, even the experts need their own advice.
Always, because you know what you're doing out there. You listening, you know what you're doing. You just got to listen to yourself. You got to listen to your gut. So with that being said, let's move into alignment. And so when I was thinking about this whole picture, I thought about how you move from each step, like each phase, right? So I would go from the acknowledgement, awareness, like, okay, what am I telling myself? And then I would affirm. So then I would tell myself good stuff, speak life, do some action, which was like movement, getting all the adrenaline and all that stuff out of my body. And then I realized that once I did that in that order, I would feel better. I would feel calmer. I would feel stronger. Like, oh, I think I can do this. I think I can do this hard thing. I think I can handle what was just said to me, or I can wrap my brain around what the change is going to be, because I helped myself get there. And so when you're flowing from the one to the other, and it is that, it's just the flow. You're like, this is what I need right now in this moment, and now this is what I need in this moment, and this is what I need. When you come around to the final step of it, you land at alignment, because now you feel aligned, because you guided yourself back to your center. You guided yourself back to the place where peace is. You made space for it.
Right.
Instead of choosing the additional suffering, instead of choosing to sit and mull it over and think about how I should have handled it, or replaying the conversations and adding those logs to the fire, instead of doing that, which I could do, I do have that choice, decided not to, and decided to move towards the peace that I really, really want. And so when I would do all those things and flow in that place, I'd find myself back home. I'd find myself home, meaning my center. I'd find myself back in this place of like, okay, and now I feel like I do have the strength to stand up again and move forward.
Right.
And so that's the sweet spot. That's where the magic happens. It's from that place, because no one wins when you're operating from a reactive state. Nobody, including you. And you're fooling yourself if you think that you're getting away with it while you're just giving it to everybody else. Like, you're just telling them about themselves. You just, they can't get away with this. They can't. Well, really, who do you think you're getting away with it?
Yeah.
You're not. Your body feels it. your body is knowing, your mind is feeling it. You know, it's all connected. You're all one, one piece. So what I'm hoping is that you understand, we understand that stuff is going to happen. It's going to hit the fan. It's going to go a different way. Unexpected things are going to happen. You didn't see that one coming. You're going to get blindsided. You know, you're going to deal. I was going to say, you're going to deal with grief. You're going to deal with disappointment. You're going to deal with this stuff because this is what happens. I'm not saying that cultivating peace means undoing life. Cultivating peace is about making space for yourself to flow with it.
I've been getting such a visual as you've been talking. It's like, you know, you can imagine like your life and you're driving down the road of your life, and then something happens and you get thrown to the hard right, and so now you got to get back to your path. But how big's your circle going to be? How long are you going to spend way out here before you get back to your path of going straight again? As you do this work, your circles get smaller.
You just reminded me of a great story. Ooh. I did not know I was going to share this story, but you just reminded me of where real-time forgiveness came from. So there was a situation where someone upset me, and it was like a sucker punch. Like I didn't see it coming, and then all of a sudden I was pissed. I was so mad. I was like, oh, are you for real right now? And I had to deal with this person for like 2 more days. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was so hard. And I did my best, and it was a situation where I couldn't just act out. And first of all, I don't want to do that. Like that's not my choice. But I also, for the sake of everyone else around me, just needed to kind of almost have like, you know, just a courtesy about it. And so when I got home, I was like, oh hell no. I cannot believe that all that happened, you know, and I was replaying it, and this was before I had, you know, even figured out any kind of process for cultivating peace. But I just, at this point, I'm in prayer. I'm just praying, and I'm just like, because that's what I do. I dump it out all in prayer because I figure God's big enough to handle it all, including bad language. So I'm like, F that, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I'm just like, you know, I'll pray. I don't care. You know, that's my business. That's my intimate relationship with the divine. So I gave it up. I was like, this is not cool. She is messing with me. I know straight up she's messing with me. And the thing I heard so clear in my spirit was like, she is. And I was like, what? What?
You agree?
What? Well, that's not okay. You know? And then it was like, and the next thing I heard so clear, and sometimes it's not a voice, it's like an audible, like I hit play. It's more of like a feeling or just a knowing.
It's just a knowing, yeah.
And the next knowing that showed up so crystal clear was, and what are you going to do about it? And I was like, is that a challenge from God? What? And I was so like, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And I knew that the next answer would be forgiveness, right? And I was like, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to forgive. I'm still in the phase of being super pissed, and I'm not ready to let it go yet. And then I was like, and then again, so I'm like almost having this conversation. This happens sometimes when I journal too. Like I'll write something, and then like my intuition kind of leads me to write the next thing, and it almost feels like a conversation. It's a really cool trick. Try it. It's like you're tapping into some superpower. So I'm like, well, you know, it's like, okay. And so when will you be ready?
Tomorrow.
When I'm ready.
Next week.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, man, I'm going to waste a lot of time being so upset over this. Okay. And then I thought,
out into the rest of your
and
life.
I was like, that's terrible. Like, and I already know that, and I already knew at that point that forgiveness is not for the other person. But I had forgotten that. And then I reminded myself and thought, I need to forgive so I can feel better. It doesn't matter if she decided to be a total jerk to me all weekend or whatever. That's her business. She's going to have to deal with those seeds that she's planted in her own life. Not my business. My business is how I respond to it. And I immediately was like, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. And I just started saying, I forgive you like 12,000 times. And then.
But that was your affirmation.
Right. So my affirmation was forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. And then I had another situation I think it was the next day at church.
Oh, no. So you told me, you explained, you came out of that and you came and told me about real-time forgiveness. She was like, there's something very powerful in instant forgiveness. It's like it doesn't even turn over.
Whoop.
It's just like, whoop, right back out. It's like, and I forgive you. And I was like, real-time forgiveness, that's interesting. So then we're in church.
So we're in church the next day, and I got an opportunity
and this is
to practice.
This is like our church, our church, and it was our sanctuary, it was our sacred place,
right? And we were like
connected to greater power,
and we were very active members in our church. Like everybody knows us, like our family is a main family of the church, first name basis. It's not like we just show up on holidays. We're volunteers, we're members.
And since he was in the womb, Julian goes to church with us.
Right.
He didn't
So
want to go.
He didn't want to go to the nursery. He wants to hear Reverend Dale, so we allow him to, as long as he's respectful and he stays quiet, which he does. So, anyways, the woman in front of me, who I had never seen her before, he did something, and he pulled the song sheet out and it hit her hair, or he kind of maybe tugged her hair a little bit, and she turned around and she gave me the ugliest look. Like first she gave him the ugliest look, and then she darted those eyes over at my direction, and she was like, I can't believe he's in here. And I was like, oh no, you didn't. Yeah. Oh no, you didn't.
I thought your hair was gonna explode.
I thought my curls was gonna light on fire right there. I was so mad. I was like,
Moses in the burning bush.
Do you so anyways, and he felt it, and I realized that I can't show out because I'm gonna teach him how to respond to
somebody being
ugly people. And so I said something to her. I said, my apologies for him disturbing you. And then I looked at him, and he was like, and I said, he said, Mama, why is she being so ugly to me? And I said, baby, sometimes people forget that they're good. That's all I could say. But on the inside, I was so mad, right? I was like, if I catch her outside, I'm gonna let her know about herself, right? That's what I'm thinking. And then I immediately was like, no, you're not. Because this is the opportunity for real-time forgiveness. And I was like, oh, cool.
Here we are again.
Awesome. So I was like, the back of her head, I'm like, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. I forgive me for thinking what I'm thinking about you. I forgive me, I forgive me, I forgive you, I forgive you. I mean, it just kept going back and forth, back and forth. But eventually, I started to simmer down. I started to bring it down. And my head was on my heart. And I just felt better, and I felt better, and I allowed myself to become aligned with the good. And I was in a very high vibrational place. Everybody's singing and we had it was a fun time, So even with all that going on, I still had to work really hard. But the thing is that by calming myself down, I taught my child how to handle a really hard situation. I taught myself how to handle a really hard situation. So that's where real-time forgiveness was born from.
And had she had the opportunity to let this woman know about herself, had she had that opportunity, where would it have gone?
Because no one wins when you are operating from a reactive state. Right. Nobody wins. At all, nobody wins. I don't know what she's dealing with that day. I don't know if she could have lost somebody that she cares about, or maybe had some catastrophic situation in her life, and then that just rubbed her the wrong way. I have no idea. All I do know is that it was an opportunity for me to show up for myself, not cause myself additional suffering, not give a bad example to my son, and also care for myself. And so when I'm doing that, when I'm operating from that connected space, when I get my command center, we talked about the command center, when I get it back online by telling it good stuff and by showing it that I'm not in a bad place, I'm not in danger, there's no need for the fight or flight, you can calm it down, quit pumping the cortisol and adrenaline, calm it down, because my body knows that I'm trying to calm down. It's going to work with me. It's not like, oh, You're lying.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep going. No, it's like, oh, we're doing,
Okay,
we're
okay,
going
okay.
here. Okay, let me follow you. Okay, and then you start coming down. Okay, so when I'm doing that, I am breaking generational patterns. I am building a positive legacy. Like, I'm teaching my children how to do things. I'm putting stuff in my being that are so good. I'm rewiring my brain to see things differently, to have different beliefs that then other people, I don't know if somebody might have seen that entire situation. Actually, there was somebody
Oh, yeah.
that was sitting next to me, and it was one of the congregants, and she looked at me and she just looked at me like, I cannot believe she did that. But she saw how I handled it. And then she hugged me and she said, you handled that really well. And I was like, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I just want you to know that when you allow yourself to feel the thing, right? And understand that those feelings, those emotions are just emotions because you're a human being. They're not good, they're not bad, they're just emotions. It's not you. It's just a thing. It's just a thing you're feeling. Let it pass through you. Do everything possible that you can to help it pass through you and leave you. Don't hang on to it. Don't hang on to it. Hanging on to all these things is what keeps us sick, what makes us feel lonely, what makes us feel that things are beyond our control, our capability. Like, I can't handle that. Actually, you can. Like, start there. Say you can handle it, and work the different practice of trying. That's all it is. Just give it some effort, You're not going to get it right the first time, maybe the 100th time. But the fact that you keep trying, that counts, because little by little, you'll start realizing that, oh, I'm slower to respond in situations. The pause that I desperately want to insert, oh, it's actually happening.
Or I'm enjoying my relationships with people that used to stress me out more.
Yeah,
because
or
I'm not so caught up in what they're upset about.
Or maybe you're not spiraling for as long, and you're like, maybe you yelling for 10 minutes is now down to 7 minutes. That's major. You know what I mean? So it's like it'll come in those little increments, little by little. Your heart is going to continue to expand and open. That's the alignment. That's the alignment. When you're in there and your heart is expanding, that's when you start feeling the peace, because you're allowing the peace to come in. You're inviting it. You're saying, please be with me, peace. Be with me. That's another thing I've been saying to myself. I love that in Star Wars.
Star Wars, man.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but I'm just going to say, she said, be with me. And I was like, I felt that on a spiritual level, so be with me, call forth the things that you want, speak it. You want peace, speak it. Be with me, peace, be with me. And you'll notice that you handled tough situations better and better, little by little. Your heart will continue to just grow and expand. Your mind will continue to grow and expand. On a physical level, our physical well-being is enhanced. Our emotional health is enhanced. Our connections, our relationships with each other are enhanced, because now I'm not looking at you to blame you or make you the cause of all my problems. I'm looking at you like, hey, so this is the story I'm telling myself about you. So is this, like, can you help me with this? Like, I want to sort this out because I don't want to feel this way. And I want to tell myself some good stuff. It's being able to have hard conversations, tough conversations, and doing it with grace, because that you need the grace, that other person needs the grace. So I always encourage, just be generous with that. Be generous with the forgiveness. Be generous with the grace. Be generous with the love, because all of those things are so, it's like honey for your soul. You think like, no, I'm going to withhold that. They don't deserve that. But you know what? You do. You deserve it. You deserve it. So remember that. It's never... There's a video on our website about forgiving a-holes.
That's a good video.
Yeah. Check that out. It's only 2 minutes, so You check that out. But just remembering that every time that you practice being calm and caring for yourself, you are changing your legacy. You're not only changing your own DNA and how you're built, but you're also changing what you're leaving behind. And so that is going to reflect in those around you, and it's going to have a ripple effect on those around you. And it will do more than you'll ever know. Do more good than you'll ever know. All those seeds will begin to bloom and blossom, and then before you know, you're like, man, I have a really good impact on others. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, myself. Because when I go down to trash talking, I'm not going to go down that alley. I'm not going to go down there and have a fist fight with myself. I'm not going to go down and beat somebody up in my head. I'm instead going to acknowledge that I'm feeling some raw shit right now. And you know what? That's okay, because I'm human. And that wasn't right. That was whatever. But I'm going to choose to be over here. I could be upset. Yes, you have that right. But I'm going to choose to be over here on the side of peace. Peace, 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 peace. Be with me. Because that's what we're trying to do, right? You're going to expand your life. You're going to expand your heart. You're going to expand all the good around you. So hopefully we've expanded your awareness that you're superhuman, and that's cool. That's fine. You know, you're superhuman.
Yeah.
Meaning like you're very human and you're a superhuman, you know? Like there's so much about ourselves that we don't give ourselves time to figure out and learn because we're too scared. We just think we're bad or we're broken or we're tainted. And I'm here to tell you, you're not broken. I don't care who you are. You're not broken. You are whole. So tell yourself that. If that stung your heart and you thought, I am broken, change it right now. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am at peace. I am loved. I am connected. So on that note, I'm so happy we did this series. I'm so happy we did this series. It's so good to break all this stuff down with you. So let's keep the empowerment going. Please subscribe and share these videos with your loved ones. The more that we keep this moving, the more that we can keep this conversation open. We'll remove the shame and we'll be able to have honest and tough conversations with each other in a more gentle way, in a more loving way, including with ourselves. So remember, go to the website, www.julesloves.me, to see all the goodness and content that we've created for you. And we'll keep doing these videos and
please subscribe.
Sharing.
You know, there's a button up here. Just push subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Our podcast is now going to be going to a video podcast and a podcast.
Yeah. So you can listen to us on the way home, or I love to wash dishes and listen to podcasts and stuff, or cook. So hopefully I'll be joining you and in those ventures. So until next time. We did it!
We did it!